you sure about this? You have questions too, don't you? Right now, I'm just a little better equipped to get answers than you are. Okay, go for it. I'll make sure they're watching. Is the air quality at Noble headquarters kept up to state standards? What's that? All these Noble employees seem to have asthma. Was Father also working under such poor conditions? They don't have asthma. And why are they all carrying inhalers? Yes, ma'am, she's right over here. Oh, it's you. Oh, it's you. Did I mess up? On the contrary. Eyes wide, she's a DA. Quiet. She succeeded spectacularly in getting Noble's ears perked up. Emma Rockford! Didn't think I'd run into you here. Yeah, didn't think I'd be here either. But the powers that be think my presence sends a strong message to the Megs, so... No, wait. What are you doing here? I see. I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you for saying that. And thank you, Detective Reyes, for your many kind words. We can't all be as talkative as you. Normally, quoting poetry would feel pretentious, but you are so genuine in your reading. Bite me. I don't know that there's a need for all that. Very mature, Detective. Did you come up with that yourself? Oh, no, that's Kaguya's signature pose. Like the pop star? I don't know what you're talking about. You can admit it if you do. Well, there's nothing to admit because I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who that is. Wait, now you're saying you don't know who Kaguya is? She's the most famous. Yeah, well, I just don't know who that is, so... Ma'am. Weren't you about to say something? Oh, well, I'm still surprised to see you here now, Morgan. Are you helping plan the services? Actually, the company will be planning Dr. Usher's funeral service. Wouldn't his family want to take care of that? No. 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 I see. Sorry. But if that's the case, why are you here, Morgan? Oh gosh, I'm so sorry to disrupt your morning. Hey, that's... You're here for the same reason as every other suit they've got crawling around. Money. You're not wrong. There are a lot of annoying insects with annoying agendas scurrying around for my friends' bodies even cold. But the honest truth is, I don't even know if David had a will. The company helped him manage his estate. Legal is probably already on it. Actually, judging by how much coffee that intern is carrying into the elevator, I'm certain they are. Right, so if you're not here for the funeral or the reading of the will... Miss Starling asked me to come here, actually, on a matter unrelated to David's passing. An unrelated matter? That's convenient. Isn't it? But now that I am here, it's come to my attention that the police have made a determination in the case of David's death. And where did you hear that? Am I mistaken? No, you're right. They concluded that it was suicide. Can always count on her to be blunt. I was worried about that. Yeah, I'm sure you must be feeling... Because I'm going to have to contest that charge. What? The state has made a charge. I'm arguing against it. The hell are you talking about? The police believe David committed suicide. Suicide is a felony in this country, Detective. It is technically a crime to commit suicide, yes, but we're not in the habit of bringing dead men to trial. Especially not for their own murder, Morgan. No, not to trial, of course not. But there would be a preliminary hearing in a case like this. Technically, as a formality. Assuming the courts aren't busy that day. I'm afraid that on this occasion, I'm going to have to insist on formality. Yeah, well, you really don't have much say in the matter, do you? With David gone, I have the only say, really. I am, after all, his criminal attorney. All that money and he needs his drinking buddy to be his attorney? Bullshit. I am also skeptical, Morgan. It's a pretty serious conflict of interest to to be your friend's defense attorney. You're absolutely right. It is a conflict of interest. And I would have said as much to him if I had the chance. What do you mean? I only found out that he wanted me to be his attorney today. After he died? How the hell did you miss that memo? Embarrassing, isn't it? But to be fair, it was hidden pretty well. Oh, I didn't know you had an android, Morgan. It's cute. Thanks, but it's actually David's. And it's technically my witness. Witness to what? 38 hours ago, that is, David Osher, communicated to me, as a matter of record, the following explicit legal intent. That in the case of any and all criminal charges brought against him by the state, his attorney would be Evangeline Morgan. Evangeline? No, wait, seriously, your name's Evangeline? Did your parents name you after a Christmas carol? Should we all be curtsying? It's not that funny. No, of course not. Nothing to be embarrassed about. Evangeline. Or do your friends call you Angel? Hey, your coffee is on tour detector. Should I get you tickets? You could have your dad drive you like all the other 15-year-old... Hey. Feels like we're getting off topic, but we're just... I was telling you that David Osher wanted her to be his criminal defense attorney. Imagine my surprise. An android's recording of a verbal expression of intent isn't exactly ironclad, Morgan. That's fair, and if we were going for an upper-level court, I would expect that to be open to all kinds of scrutiny. But we're talking about a preliminary hearing. A formality, as you called it. If he asks for representation, he deserves representation. Doesn't matter whether he's dead or alive. Am I missing something? What difference does it make? Not even an adjutant will be obtuse enough to sentence a dead man. No, there won't be a sentence, but the adjutant will render a verdict. And verdicts have consequences, even for the deceased. Is that what this is about? What you getting at? If the court agrees this was a suicide, that verdict will retroactively affect evaluations of the individual's mental health. Like, whether he was in his right mind or not. You know anything about a state tax law, detective? No, but I'm sure you'll be happy to educate me. More than happy. An individual found by a court to not be of sound mind can't very well give their consent to the lawyer drawing up their will. If his will is compromised, all of David's considerable assets would suddenly be thrown into legal limbo. In which case, the state would be legally obligated to come in and pick up the pieces. So this is just about his money? I'm almost disappointed in you, Morgan. Well, when you take into consideration all the factors, it's actually more complicated than that. For example... Huh? Never mind. No, Starling, you should speak your mind. All I mean to say is that while Dr. Osher did have significant holdings in art, real estate, and intellectual property, he also, of course, owned a great deal of stock in numerous corporations, principally Noble. He was ruled to not be of sound mind, and his shares were to end up acquired by the government. Noble would suffer a serious blow to its commercial image and its standing in the financial community. All of which is to say there's a great deal at stake here. Not the least of which is the reputation of a man whom I was proud to call my friend. You're not buying this, are you? In case you haven't noticed, the city is working closely with Noble on this, and they're not going to let you bring them any unwanted attention. Starling did her part. They're watching, and they've stopped trying to hide it. From here on out, it's a gamble. Noble Electronics already has unwanted attention. Why are you raising your voice? If nothing changes by the end of the day, the whole country is going to hear how David Osher committed suicide. By midnight, there will be questions about his competency. Concerns about why the brain inside every single Noble ad was built by an apparently unstable man. The shareholders will have nothing to do all Sunday but brood over that sad thought and all its disturbing implications. By the time the markets reopen on Monday, I would expect a great deal of volatility. That's so. I understand Noble's apprehension, of course, Emma. I just feel like right now the fiscally conservative thing to do would be to not get in my way. So you've got your reasons. Noble's got a lot to think about. But why should the district attorney's office devote valuable time to playing up this game of yours? Because they're certain they'll win. That goes without saying. The court should have an opening at 6 p.m. I didn't have anything planned. Then it's a date. Detective, would you get her clearance set up? Yes, ma'am. Updates every hour, yeah? You're on a limb, Morgan. Better not linger. Here. Clearance for all the relevant sites and police firewalls. You can interview and investigate with your authority as an officer of the court now, if you haven't already been doing that. Don't even think about being sloppy with discovery on this. Rockford might think you're funny, but I appreciate the warning, Detective Reyes. It's nice to know you care. I live to serve. And protect. Phew. Thanks for the assist, darling. Yeah, no sweat. Are all cops like that, or are they more like that Detective London gentleman? Most cops I've met are like London, yeah. Courteous and polite and friendly? Lazy. Oh. Right. Well, I'll see you at the courthouse tonight. If you need anything in the meantime, don't be afraid to ask. Good luck. Both of you. What do we do now? Well, I have a few options. I have access to the crime scene now, probably the best place to start. I'd like to head over to the company building as well. To get me registered? Among other things. Either David killed himself or he didn't. But if he did, it's almost certainly his asshole corporate overlords who are to blame. In which case, I'll just want to take my sweet time raking them over the coals. What are you doing? Nothing? What about Father? When can we see him? He'll be at the morgue by now. The medical examiner will speak to me, now that I'm operating under the court's authority. But if I stop to flash paperwork at every nurse and security guard with nothing better to do than ask questions, I'll have to. What's that look for? You were Father's friend. Thank you, again, for reminding me. Aren't there people you'd like to speak with? Other friends who'd want to know? Bad news travels fast. I'm sure everyone in the country has heard about David by this point. But all that heartbreak shit did keep me pretty occupied these last few weeks, and I was never one to pry. If there was someone who could tell me more about David's personal life over the last several months, it'd be worth the effort of finding them. Do you have someone in mind? Maybe someone you met recently? He spoke about becoming close with someone this year, a musician. Now that you mention it, there was a PO post something that David might have mentioned when we talked back in. I will begin a search. I've completed my search. I found nothing. Thanks for the old college try. Is that really the best you can do? Father was a private man, in person and online. With just a few letters and the fact that he was a musician, I'm afraid we don't have enough information to narrow down the results, haven't I? No, we have plenty of information. We just need the right person for the job. What kind of person is that? And who would you even have called? I don't know. I still should have got my phone calls till I got you. Who are you again? My latest guardian, new foster parent. Want me to call you Mommy? I'm not really the motherly type. Hey, we might actually get along. So I've got good news and bad news. I'm not your guardian, I'm your lawyer. You've been given a lawyer because you're being charged with a felony. Fascist pigs, skipping school's a felony now? Hacking into a government database has been a felony for a very long time. That wasn't me. They have your keystrokes, your IP address, your login times, and the playlist you were listening to. That was for a homework assignment. Here's what I don't get. You got in, copied the data, could have gone right out. State wouldn't even know they'd been robbed until they saw their password show up on black market clearance 2 weeks later. But you didn't get out. You stayed and made changes to their database. You robbed the bank, got clean money, then dragged a can of spray paint behind you all the way home. Why? Look, I didn't steal anything that wasn't already compromised. The only data I edited was my own. So if anything, they should be thanking me for correcting their mistakes. What, did they get your birthday wrong? My name. Name changes are only 2 pages of paperwork. You just need to fill out the form. And get a signature from a parent or guardian. So, what's the good news then? The good news is that I'm your lawyer, not your guardian. The hell, that doesn't count as good news, it's just a thing you said. Don't be so sure, a lawyer's a lot better than a guardian. How's that? Parents, guardians, foster whatevers, they're all supposed to take care of you because it's the right thing to do. A lawyer is someone who always does what's best for you, no matter what, because that's how they get paid. So good at your job. Hello, Monker. It's pronounced Cour. I know how it's pronounced. Don't call me that. When I met Fran in that police station, I couldn't help but that I'd landed the jackpot, a valuable asset with a skill set complementary to my own personal and private pursuits. Someone who, after seeing the sweetheart probation deal I managed to land for them, would be more than happy to help me with whatever I need whenever I need it. Always so cold, Fran. Can't I even get a good morning? No such thing. Nothing good's ever happened until the afternoon when people are actually awake. What I got instead was a compulsive liar with a horrific sleep schedule and a crippling addiction to poor time management. What do you want, Red? I can't call you up just for fun? Not if you don't want to get blocked. I need you to find somebody for me. Can't do it. Got homework. We both know the only time you ever do your own homework is during class it's due. And I've got sports. You can't tell a basketball from a hockey stick. And I've got a bidding war to win. You're the only person on Earth bidding on 70-year-old Gucci and Air Jordan vintage reps, Fran. I think you can take your eyes off the auction block. So yeah, so sorry, but I'm busy, so... I was hoping we could skip straight to the carrot portion of the routine, but if you insist on doing things from the top... Huh? I had an interesting conversation with your parole officer yesterday. Oh yeah? They've been really into the self prefixes lately. What? Self-motivation, self-actualization, self-help. Oh. And he thinks you could really benefit from it. You're lying. He's got all the workbooks ready. Clearly your Saturdays are stacked, so I'll make sure your Sundays are full of... Fine, I get it. I need you to find a local musician. Musician? Knowing you, this will be electro swing or some other awful. Last name Powell, or Parker. That's all you got? We'll be in David Osher's circles. Wait, Osher, you're working now? That should be more than enough for a clever kid like yourself to go on. Don't go expecting any miracles. I need this soon, within the hour, ideally. Within the... You know I have other clients, don't you? Other clients who actually pay you, on time? A musician, find him. Okay. Even talking over the phone, you're very animated, Adonai. What do you mean? Just that you're very expressive when you talk to people. Of course I'm expressive. If I wasn't, how would anyone know what I'm thinking? I see. I'll keep that in mind as we... Wait, you really expect to tag along? Of course. Father was... Yeah, I know you want to. Why should I let you? Because I am capable and helpful. Uh-huh. I mean it. I can take notes for you. And move heavy objects. And I'll learn to do more. How? I will subject every individual we encounter to a basic survey to procure biographical information on them while I gain experience in questioning, subjecting them to torture. I can help, Adonai. How fast can you fill out forms? Fast. Congratulations, you're halfway to being a paralegal. You coming? Right away, Adonai.